It's Dr. Holliday here with Indie Direct Docs, and I have here again with me Alisa Kaczorowsi with AK Educational Consulting, and have another question for you.
All right.
So we've just been talking about parents' different perspectives with how to break really difficult news to children, especially this year with everything going on with COVID, with the election, just other things. How is a good way for parents to discuss these hard topics with them where they inform them but don't make them so anxious where they feel like they don't even want to go outside?
Sure. So I think it's a tricky thing for parents for sure. I think my best tips would be, first of all, you have to know your kids, and you have to kind of gauge as you're talking to them when you've kind of hit the limit and when you've maybe gone too far. So, some kids may start to show signs where they start to seem like they're a little bit afraid as you're telling them things. That might be a good cue that you've given them enough information. Another thing that you want to make sure you do is, ground everything in facts. So if, you're giving them facts that are age level appropriate, and you don't, especially for younger kids, you don't necessarily have to get into a lot of opinions with them. The older kids are going to start to kind of form their own opinions, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But as long as you're grounding it in facts and you're not going too far, you're gauging kind of, their reaction, I think you kind of know what your kids are ready for. If you have a kid that is already pretty anxious, one of mine is that way, then I would be a little bit more careful about, how much information you're giving them. And so, enough that they understand what they should or should not do. For instance, with the pandemic, if we're out and about, like, yes, we do need to wear masks. Yes, we do need to stay socially distanced. But what is okay too, and just making sure you set those limits and boundaries with them so that they feel empowered, when they're out and about. As far as, things like the election or other world events, again, grounding it in facts. And one thing that I make sure to tell my kids is that people have different perspectives on things. And so the things that I have shared with you they're facts. It's nobody's opinion. But everybody does have their own opinion about those facts, and we're respectful of that. So you're not getting to the point where they feel, just some sort of tension if there's somebody that has a different opinion than them.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.